I've talked to many clients who have or are going through an affair, and this question always comes up. So is it true that once a cheater, always a cheater? That's a really hard question to answer because it's fickle and it can't be 100% one way or another. What I can tell you is all cheaters have two characteristics in common. The first of these is that a cheater has a deep sense of entitlement. This is what causes actually their thinking, their choice of cheating. They think they deserve better. And because of this sense of entitlement, they tell themselves, well, I work, I've always been faithful, I always bring home the paycheck, and therefore if my partner won't have sex or my partner won't do what I want, then I should be able to treat myself. And because of this deep sense of entitlement, that makes it very unpredictable whether they'll cheat again or not. And secondly, a cheating spouse, they tend to look for external solutions to their problems. So in other words, they are not the type of person that is going to go to therapy saying, I need to change. They're going to be more likely to blame the situation, to blame whoever seduced them, or to blame their spouse for not doing their part of the relationship, or whatever they come up with. Remember, they rationalize in all sorts of ways. These two characteristics define almost every cheater I have ever worked with, and these two almost make it unpredictable. What I'm going to say now is if you are involved in a relationship where your partner is a cheater, you need to let go of trying to ask yourself, what can I do to prevent it? Because I'm going to tell you something very real right now. You cannot prevent it. You can do some things that may make it less likely that they'll cheat, but you cannot prevent it. And here's the reason why. You don't have any control over who your partner actually is underneath the surface. You may have insight into it, but you can't control it. And because the only person who can control the cheater is the cheater, that makes it impossible for you to prevent it. Secondly, you can't control their surroundings or what happens when you're not around. Following them on a surveillance or being suspicious and checking their phone, that may give you a sense of control or that you know what's going on. But the truth is, you never really know because you're only getting little snapshots of those times that you check, of those things, but you aren't with them. And even if you were with them, you wouldn't be able to see some of the nonverbal things they're doing, perhaps to invite or encourage cheating from someone else. So you just have to give up on thinking that you are in control of that. And lastly, your partner may be suffering from an addiction, any kind of an addiction, especially a sex addiction. They could be suffering with that in total privacy of you. And even if it weren't that, they could have some type of trauma from their past that you know nothing about. And this vice or whatever they're using is what's keeping it at bay or minimizing its anxiety. Either way, you don't have control over it. You don't have control over any addict. In fact, the addict himself doesn't have control over the addiction. The only thing they can do is manage it. And the only thing you can do as a spouse or a partner right now is manage you. You decide what you can live with, how you can rebuild your trust, how you can feel good about you, and from there you make the plan whether or not this is a relationship that is salvageable.